That's what I'm talking about. Hey, welcome back to another video. We're gonna go riding. Hey, thank you to Mario for the light bar light because he couldn't see nothing earlier. But we're gonna go for a little rip. We're out here in San Bernardino, Barstow-ish area. Same kind of terrain as the 138, Cleghorn, all that good stuff. And we're gonna go for a little rip. Nothing crazy. We can't even go that fast. He was saying there's a lot of like drop-offs and stuff, a lot of little, kind of like over there, huh? Yeah. So we're just gonna be safe. I don't have no lights, so I can't be going crazy. We won't be ripping the Maverick R like we're like to. Can't stretch his legs out here, but we want to get a feel for it, see how the transmission feels and all that good stuff. So thanks for watching. Hey, what's up, Juan?
Pancho.
Are you fixing your Bluetooth or what?
Yeah,
all
that's to work my sound system.
I got a bunch of my co-workers out here. Just gonna go for a little rip. Be safe out there. Eddie's got his Jeep over here. You sure about this?
I'm gonna say one.
This is true. Yeah, it's actually a little bit fresh right now, and then it rained recently, so it's not gonna be a lot of dust, I hope. We'll test that theory in a second. All right, let's get to it. All right, we got Eddie in the car.
Hell yeah.
Hey, we're gonna go give this thing a little rip, the old Maverick car. I don't know anything about this car yet. I haven't tried it, I haven't driven it down the street. I haven't gave it gas. Honestly, it rattled like hell turning on, huh?
Yeah, sounded like it needed oil.
Yeah, it sounded like it needed freaking oil. But cool looking screen, funky looking arms. I'm excited to test it out. Like I said, we're not gonna go super fast. It's hard to in the terrain we're going, but still gonna try out this old DCT transmission. See what those are like. Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Don't look down, don't look down.
Huh? What a fucking view. This is badass right here. Hey, we didn't bring anything, huh?
No.
Nothing to drink, nothing, huh? One?
No.
I got coffee back at the truck.
You forgot the coffee?
Oh man, dude, it's a badass view. Hey, this car feels really different. It ain't no CVT, it just feels weird. Anyway, it felt weird, huh?
That smells smooth.
Well, the shifts, you can hear them, but they're actually pretty smooth. Like when it shifts,
Yeah.
you can hear it.
You can hear it, but
It's like pretty smooth, yeah.
Very smooth.
It's freaking different, man. I'm loving it though. It feels really cool.
Bumps and everything.
So I'm getting used to, but we'll have to report back more when we get some miles on this thing. This was like very little that we just drove it, but way different, way different. It's really cool when the arms come out through the hood though. And the power, I didn't have it in Sport Plus mode. I had it in Sport mode, and it was a little laggy. So I'm assuming the Sport Plus mode is definitely helped cure that. So I'm excited, man. I'm freaking excited. Woo! I got no lights on it though. Can't see shit. We need some whips here, some dome lights here, some squadrons right here, some Baja Designs headlights right here, coming soon, and maybe some cage, some new wheels. I don't know. arms, HR arms, maybe. I think I'm gonna beat the crap out of it first, and then maybe when we get close to the sand show, we'll hook it up like we did the white car. But for now, I just want to beat the crap out of it, see what it's capable of. I probably will do the cage though, for safety reasons. What do you got there, guy? Chippy doos? What do you got? Let me have one. Yeah, pour it. My hands are dirty. Pour them in there. Let me see. What are these? Takis or what? Oh, what are these? Alright. They're good. Alright, first stop's over. Beer break's over. Hey, what are you doing over there? You drinking? He's not driving. We're gonna go for a second little go here. Let's see where we go. I don't know where we're going. Turn on the cameras. Come on. We came to the end of the road. There's nothing over here. We're gonna have to head back. This car's feeling pretty cool. Mario, you're hauling ass, fool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mario was hauling ass. I was riding on his butt. No homo. I was right on his tail. It was fun. This car smashes it, but he little freaking 64-inch over there. I was worried because like your car's long, so you know how he kind of swings ass, and it was like road and narrow. There's a lot of
Low-key, I was scared.
there's a lot of horny bushes. I mean, there's a lot of bushes. So we're worried about Eduardo was in his Jeep, but apparently he's already going up here. Did you hit any bushes?
No. Well, yeah, probably, but no horny ones.
No horny ones? They were horny, right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Alright, so far, so good. Hey, Eddie and me were like, damn, this was fucking hitting all the bushes right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's all scratched up now.
Alright, we're hauling ass. That was a ton of fun. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the camera, or one of the cameras, one of the GoPros, on the back of Mario's machine. So maybe you guys can see me right behind his ass. That'd be fun. So I'm gonna head back. Still hot, baby. The wife hooked it up. Yeah. All right, we're ending this trip. Oh man, still hot. What a good ride. Let's see if we can get some light in here. How about now? Oh, good ride. Eddie, come here, Eddie.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was the best ride I've been on.
The best.
The best ride I've been on. It was fun, dude. The weather was perfect. We didn't even need a bigger jacket. This is probably more than I needed. Like, actually a little hot.
Just a windbreaker, that's all you need.
You probably just need, yeah.
Windbreaker.
And then no dust.
No dust.
No dust at all. It was fun. I was chasing Mario like the whole way. Hopefully you guys saw footage of that. I think I got good footage of that. Hopefully. Actually, when we got back, the camera was crooked, so maybe not. He probably hit a bush. Dude, this was one of my favorite night trips I've ever had. It was like legit fun, and I had no lights, and it was still fun because I was in the middle. Luckily, the guys, you know, sandwiched me a little bit. No homo.
We're all homos. Homo sapiens.
But I was in the middle, and I could see Juan's amber lights behind me, and then I don't know, I could see Mario very clearly. So good freaking trip, tons of fun. I'll head home, and then I'll probably give you guys a little bit of my first impressions with the machine. I'm just gonna say I like it.
So what would you recommend, a Pro R or Maverick?
I can't say what I recommend, but they're both amazing machines. I drove both cars, but we'll talk about that more later. Eddie wants to buy a Pro R, but now he sat in this car, and he likes this one too.
Now I gotta decide which one to get.
You gotta sit in the Pro R to see.
I gotta sit in the Pro R now.
Dude, the DCT, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but the DCT is legit. It was
The
legit.
trans was tight.
The biggest thing I've heard is everybody complains about the clunk and how harsh it is. Actually, it's super smooth. It's seamless. You hear it though.
Yeah, you do hear it.
Right? I feel like you hear clunk, clunk, and then like you feel when the gear changes, but it's so smooth. So maybe that's just, you know, positive engagement, and hopefully those gears are nice and thick and big boys. So
It lasts a long time.
anyways, we're gonna clean up, head home, and I'll give you my first impressions. All right, well, I was gonna hold back a little bit, knowing that this was gonna be a short ride through some trails. I was gonna hold back and not really talk about my first impressions on the machine, but after this drive, after this ride, I feel compelled to let you guys know my first impressions. And keep in mind, this is only a about 35-mile run, and they're all tight, twisty trails, and there was no areas where I wanted or where I could open it up and stretch its legs. And that's why I wanted to wait, because I wanted to do that, go in the desert and really stretch its legs and let that engine open up. But we didn't do that. But I still feel compelled to tell you guys that this machine is it's impressive. I am very happy with my purchase, and the machine was really fun. I mean, multiple things going on for it. Obviously, I want to go into more detail further in another video when I really do, you know, review it in some desert conditions, because that's mainly what we do, desert riding, not mainly trail riding. But I will say that the steering is by far a huge improvement over the current X3. That's what I felt the most. So, I mean, open desert, I'm sure this being a 4-seat is going to do really good against the whoops versus that. But the steering, these tight and twisty trails, it just steers so flat. And that was the biggest takeaway I had from the steering while I was driving. And the input from my hands, it just drives so flat. And there is no steering feedback into your hands, negative steering feedback into your hands, and it feels legit. I felt like I could drive it with one hand, even on some tighter stuff. Once you start picking up speed, obviously my reaction time, I needed both my hands, but it felt really good just steering. The steering is so good. So suspension wise, my X3 Max is pretty dialed. This thing has, you know, the RIS from Shock Therapy. It is a longer model, so whoops, it's really good. On tight, twisty trails, the only thing that I will notice on the Blue machine is that it is long, so it kind of swings the ass.
Shake your ass.
But this machine, in stock form, I think the suspension, maybe not in bottoming out, like in hard G outs, but just in like comfort, sport mode, that, you know, obviously we have the Smart Shocks model and the new Maverick R. But in those modes, I feel like it's so much more comfortable. It's hard to say. It's more comfortable than this machine. Just because I can switch back between comfort and sport. And when I started to push it, I put it in sport. Sport Plus was a little too stiff for those riding conditions. That's probably something we will use in Glamis. But the sport was really good. I'm really happy I got the Smart Shocks. It's my first car with Smart Shocks, and it felt really good. And the sport, the suspension was really plush, but really took some good hits. So I did bottom it out a couple times, even in sport, but I didn't want to put it in Sport Plus just because I felt like it would be too stiff. So suspension, steering, both amazing. I'm very happy with how they performed. And then when it comes to the engine, plenty of power. Definitely, it's up there with the current X3. I know you see drag races on Instagram. It's very comparable to a stock X3, a stock Pro R, and it feels really good. Out of the hole in normal and sport, you definitely feel a little bit of turbo lag, and then Sport Plus, you could definitely feel that it's picks up some steam, and then it makes all sorts of crazy turbo noises. I kept it in sport most of the time just because we were in tight trails. Didn't really need. I don't feel like I needed it to be in Sport Plus. Sport was great. So again, these are first impressions. This is not a full review. There's a lot of things about the car that I obviously will want to get more into detail with, but I want to drive it more. So engine was great. And what else? I mean, the elephant in the room when it comes to that Maverick R next to any other machine is that transmission. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I had mixed feelings going into driving the machine, because just moving around here at home, there's a lot of loud clunks and a lot of loud noises. When I took it from the dealership over at Coin, putting it into drive made a really loud noise, and putting it into reverse made a loud noise, and I was a little concerned. But honestly, after driving it, it's very obvious this car wants to go fast, and the noise that you hear is not actually a noise that you feel. So you'll hear, and right now I'm talking about like when you're driving, right? So it's in first gear, you're driving, you start giving the gas, you will hear audibly a very firm clunk from the transmission. You hear it, but you do not feel it. And that is the biggest thing in my mind. The transmission is not harsh. It just sounds loud when it engages gear, and I'm hoping that's just a really nice positive engagement from some hopefully big gears being meshed together. So I've heard of this thing having possibly straight cut gears. I'm not 100% if that's true, if that's confirmed, I don't know, but you definitely don't feel it when you're driving. And I've seen some guys complain that it felt like it wasn't finished right, or it wasn't, you know, dialed in. You could hear the clunks and you could feel the clunks. I didn't feel any clunks. I heard them. I definitely heard them. Sometimes louder than others. Most of the time you don't hear them. It mainly seems to be like in the lower gears where you would hear them. But like second and third, you wouldn't hear it. Third to fourth, fourth to fifth, so on and so forth. You didn't really hear it, and you could barely feel it. And when it was loud, you could barely feel the transmission from gear to gear. So that was huge. And when it came to driving, I felt like the trans was always in the right gear. The RPMs were always in a good spot. Every time I wanted to give it gas and punch the throttle, it was there. So obviously that's going to differ from terrain to terrain. The dunes is going to be very different. Open desert might be very different. Going through some freaking whoops at 60 miles an hour and you stop and hit the brakes, I don't know how the transmission is gonna react to that. But tight trails at some pretty decent speeds, I was on my buddy Mario's ass for quite some time. It moves, and the transmission puts you in the right gear at all times. I never felt the need to reach down and pull gear down. I did use the paddle to lower your gear, or excuse me, to raise a gear when we were going downhill and the engine braking was a little high. I went up a gear to bring the RPMs down and kind of cruise down as we were going downhill. But the transmission is, damn, it's next level, and that's probably the biggest reason why, that and the steering is the biggest reason why I wanted to actually give you my first impressions. I was gonna totally just say, hey, well, let's put some more miles on it before I say anything, but it is such a drastic difference, the transmission from this machine, which this has more power, to that machine. The transmission feels good. It feels amazing. And even when we were going kind of slow, going uphill through some rocks, it felt really good. There's no like engagement that you have to feel. It's just always going, kind of like a regular automobile, your Chevy truck, your Ford truck. The gears like always engage. It just feels like a proper vehicle. And back to the clunking, and I think it's just, you know, a firm engagement. That just makes me think it's like a race car transmission, right? For any of you guys that been in some sort of race car, those machines have a really firm engagement, firm shifts, because they are made to haul ass. And that's what this machine is. This is not a comfort machine. This is a super sport vehicle, and I think you guys should treat it as such. So I definitely want to leave some space for, you know, maybe it'll wear and maybe the noises will get worse, but honestly, it felt like a race car, and I really liked it. So those are my first impressions. Other things about the machine, ergonomics of how you're seating, it's very similar to an X3. Suspension was awesome. The way it comes out through the hood was pretty cool to see. My buddy Eddie was in the machine with me. He was pretty much blown away coming from a Razor XP, which I know. Yeah, the machine is legit. So controls on the steering, I never even touched them. If I wanted to change modes, I used the buttons in the center stack at the very bottom. You know, I changed the power modes and the steering. I actually set the steering to minimum. I felt like that was enough. I don't need one finger steering. I like to have some feedback, but honestly, there's very little feedback, and that's why I put it on minimum. So I used the buttons down there. The machine felt amazing, guys, and I'm very impressed. I'm very happy with my purchase. Shout out to Coin. And I can't wait to actually open up, you know, some runs in the desert, stretch its legs, open up that freaking engine and make it roar. So parts are coming for that Maverick R. We have parts from our boys over at RPM. Shout out to Jason. We're gonna put some charge tubes on it, blow off valve, an exhaust. I've had a cage on order for like 2 months. Oh, it's done. I'm not saying it took a while. I ordered it like months before I got the car. I have a cage from TMW, a front bumper, doors. But honestly, I'm not gonna really modify the whole look of the machine a whole lot anytime soon. I kind of just want to beat the crap out of the car and see how it does long term. If, you know, suspension starts wearing out, doing weird things, I don't want to have to worry about the looks of the machine anytime soon. We're just gonna beat the crap out of it. So really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. Visit glifeutv.com. That is our parts website where we have over 50 brands, a ton of them US manufacturers that make some of the best, highest quality parts, and you guys can buy those for your machine and contribute to this channel so we can continue making videos. Apart from that, if you guys want to support us even more, we have our own clothing line. It's called StayDirtyClothing.com, and right now you can pre-order the new Sandman shirt that we are releasing very soon. We'll leave a pre-order link down below. And yeah, 2 websites that we have. One's for parts, one's for merchandise. And thank you guys, as always, support the channel by buying some cool gear or some cool parts for your machine. I'm a little shocked. I'm just happy. That freaking car was a lot of fun. This is probably the best night ride I've had in a long time. And I didn't even have any lights on my machine. It was just really, really, really fun. The weather was perfect. No dust. And you guys that didn't go, you know who you are. You missed out. It was a ton of fun. I even got wet. We went through some, what you guys saw. We went through some puddles and we got wet, and it wasn't nothing. I wasn't cold or anything, so. I'm gonna stop rambling. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Love you. Update on Big Blue real quick. This machine, it's a piece of junkie. And we got no engine still. Help your boy. Buy some parts on the website. And that'll contribute to Big Blue's engine. Because it's a part still.